to the monotone drone. And today we are going to be reading some more facts from the fact site. 200 facts that you'll love to know. I believe that's it. Okay, last time we read fact 50, now we're on fact 51. So, before we get into it, subscribe, leave a like if you like, the bell, leave a comment, all the YouTube algorithm jargon, and let's get into it. Fact 51. J.K. Rowling chose the unusual name Hermione so young girls wouldn't be teased for being nerdy. Also, is it Rowling or Rowling? I've heard both. If you know, please enlighten me. Okay. When J.K. Rowling set about to choose a name, she looked for one which is much less commonly used. Eventually, she came up with the name Hermione, which she took from a character in William Shakespeare's A Winter Night's Tale. Rowling says when she chose the name, she didn't want a lot of fairly hardworking little girls to be teased if the book was published. Number 52. Hewlett-Packard's, also known as HP, Hewlett-Packard's name was decided in a coin toss in 1939. I make some life decisions with coin tosses. Bill Hewlett and Dave Packard met in the early 1930s while studying engineering and quickly became solid friends. They both worked a number of postgraduate jobs before starting their own company, where they operated out of a tiny garage. Now, it seems like a lot of these tech people started in garages, huh? Isn't that where Bill Gates was? And even Jeff Bezos? Anyway. In 1939, they cemented their partnership and made a decision regarding the company's name. It would simply be the hyphening of their two surnames. To decide on the order in which their names would be presented, they flipped a coin, with the winner given the final choice. Dave Packard actually won the coin toss, but preferred the way Hewlett-Packard sounded, so they stuck with that. Cool. Ooh, technology facts. I'll open that up for later. Maybe we'll do that one. Number 53. There are a total of 1,710 steps in the Eiffel Tower. Standing 108 stories tall, the Eiffel Tower is one of the most iconic landmarks in Europe, if not the globe. It was constructed in 1889, and until 1930, it was the tallest building in the world. With such a tall building, it's obviously a long way to the top. To get to the top of this 1,063 feet tall marvel, you have to crawl. You have to climb. Whoops. You have to climb 1,710 steps. For better or for worse, though guests are only allowed to climb the stairs until the first platform. From there, they must take an elevator to the top. You think it's because the steps are dangerous, or they don't want people getting tired and fainting halfway? Number 54. The names of the Pokemon Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan are based on Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. Players new and old would be familiar with the two fighting style Pokemon, Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, who have been present within the game since their debut on Game Boy. As Pokemon is a game out of Japan, the original names were quite different. When the game was introduced to the Western world, their names needed to be westernized, so it was that they were named after internationally famous martial artists. The third Pokemon of the Hitmons, Hitmontop, is also named after a martial artist, Larry Top. If you love Pokemon, facts about the original Pokemon. Some of these sentences, I feel like maybe I could just be dumb. But no, I swear in one of the previous videos, one of the wording, I think was just missing a word, like just straight up. I don't know. Number 55. Pigs are very smart animals. I mean, what kind of fact is that? I mean, sure. I mean, you might think a pig is like a slob, so it's like dumb, but I don't know. It just seems very simple compared to the other facts, you know? Pigs. They roll around in muck and filth, eat any scraps left around for them, and they are frankly quite delicious. That's not all, though. As it turns out, they're incredibly intelligent. They have, in some cases, been found to be smarter than dogs. They can solve puzzles better than chimpanzees, and they have some of the best long-term memories known in animals. Pigs are considered to be the world's 5th smartest animal. What are the first 4? I'm going to guess elephant and dolphin are on that list. Number 56. Pirates wore earrings because they believed it improved their eyesight. In fact, there are many reasons why pirates wore earrings. Some sailors would adorn their ears with trinkets from faraway lands to show how well-traveled they were. Pirates were also known to believe that the precious metals in their earrings had magical properties and could protect them from and even cure bad eyesight. Also, pirates were known to believe that earrings could aid in seasickness as well as preventing them from drowning. Now, if you saw somebody decked out in earrings, right, and you were a pirate back in the day, and they drowned, wouldn't you just realize that, earrings don't do anything? Or how do you justify that? I don't know. Number 57. Los Angeles' original name is El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Angeles de Porciuncula. Porciuncula. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that last word properly. I'm probably not. I'm not Hispanic or Spanish, so I don't know. The city that is now known as Los Angeles was first founded by Spanish colonists in 1769. It wasn't until a few years later, in 1781, when another group of 44 settlers made the new town their home. The Spanish governor gave it its name, El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora la Reina de Los Angeles de Porciuncula, or the town of Our Lady, the Queen of the Angels of Porciuncula. I'm sorry. I was expecting that word to be translated, but no, that's just what that word is. As the name is understandably quite a mouthful, it became shortened over time until finally Los Angeles. Now, Los Angeles is just the Angels. LA, baby. Number 58. The Twitter bird actually has a name. Larry. Not everyone likes Twitter, but few can be found who dislike its logo and mascot, a cute little blue bird. Bluebird. Alliteration. When Twitter was founded in 2016, their logo was simply purchased from a stock image website with small changes to its appearance in the years since. It wasn't until the 2010s that it was revealed by a Twitter employee that it's actually called Larry. Twitter has since confirmed this, as well as the fact that the name comes from Larry Bird, who was a famous Hall of Fame basketball player. The species of Larry the Bird still remains a secret. Larry Bird. What is he? Was he the GM for Indiana now? Yeah, I don't know. I believe he's in Indiana though, doing something in some capacity with the Pacers. Number 59. Octopuses actually have 6 arms and 2 legs. Okay, I know Squidward. His name is Squidward, like, because he's supposed to be a squid. But Squidward has 4 legs and 2 arms. So he's like opposite octopus. Anyway. Like all other animals that walk on 2 appendages, we use the bottom 2 for walking and the top 2 for manipulating objects. It seems that octopuses also favor some of their tentacles in a similar way. 6 of an octopus's tentacles are used in the same way we would use our arms and are used for purposes such as eating. The remaining 2 tentacles are used for walking, which makes them just like legs. Unlike humans, octopuses do not favor one side over the other. There's no such thing as being left or right tentacled. The 6 of an octopus's tentacles serve as arms, while the other 2 are their legs. You already said that. Number 60. In the popular sitcom Parks and Recreation, the writers had no idea Nick Offerman was a talented saxophone player when they wrote the Duke Silver plotline. I enjoy Parks and Rec. While many of Ron Swanson's activities, such as woodworking, are based on Nick Offerman's real hobbies and interests, the writers had absolutely no idea he played saxophone. This was rather fitting, given the nature of Duke Silver. Number 61. There are only 2 times that we know of that snow fell in the Sahara Desert. February 18th, 1979 was a special day for residents of Ain Sefra, a town in Algeria at the edge of the Sahara Desert. It was special because, for as long as anyone can remember, it was the first time snow could be seen falling in the Sahara Desert. It snowed for just 30 minutes, and the snow, of course, rapidly melted. Since then, there has just been one case of it happening again on December 19, 2016. Can you imagine being in a place where something never happens and then one day you wake up and it's just snowing? You might think the world has come to an end. Number 62. Mike Tyson once offered a zoo attendant $10,000 to let him fight a gorilla. That would have not been very smart of you, Mike, if you went through with that, or if they let you go through with that. They probably didn't let you do it because they realized gorillas are really strong. Mike might not know what he's getting into. Back in the 90s, Mike Tyson was a true force to be reckoned with, but even he might not have been able to stand up against an adult male gorilla. Tyson had already bribed a zoo attendant to open the zoo just for himself and his then wife, Robin Givens. It was during this visit that he made his outlandish request, demanding the attendant to open the cage and let him smash the silverback snot box. Fortunately for everyone involved, the zoo attendant declined his request. Bro, snot box. Wow. Oh, number 63. ABBA turned down $1 billion to do a reunion tour. What? At the height of their success in 1979, ABBA was one of, if not the biggest pop band in the world. 3 years later, the group split up following the divorce of their two members. In 2000, ABBA was offered $1 billion to reunite for 100 shows, which would have been $250 million per member. What? When asked why they wouldn't accept the offer, they simply said, "It's a hell of a lot of money to say no to, but we decided it wasn't for us." Hey, you know what? I'm sitting here going, what? Like, I would have just taken the money, but man, you know yourself, and if it's just not worth it, it's just not worth it. No matter how much money, you might think it's crazy, but we don't know what was going on with them, you know what I mean? So, that sounds wild to me, but hey, works for them. Works for them. Number 64. Captive pandas may sometimes fake pregnancies. It's been claimed that pandas sometimes carry on showing symptoms synonymous with early pregnancy after noticing their preferential treatment, such as private accommodation, air conditioning, and extra food. While the original claims have been largely discredited, stating that it wasn't so much as a choice but due to hormonal changes, it's quite fun to imagine pandas cheating the system for better food. Fun fact, in captivity, giant pandas can live up to 35 years old, but only 15 years in the wild. Alright, here's what's ridiculous. I mean, okay, to be fair, they did say may sometimes, but this just shouldn't even be on this website because it's been discredited like nonsense. Anyway, number 65. The first alarm clock could only ring at 4 a.m. While alarms and clocks have been around for a long time, the combination of the two is a much more recent invention. The man responsible for creating the first mechanical alarm clock, Levi Hutchins, did so as he was determined to wake up before sunrise no matter what day it was. So it was that in 1787, he created an alarm clock that would chime at 4 a.m. His invention worked perfectly, for him at least. He was so happy, in fact, that he never bothered to patent his device or sell it commercially. It took another 60 years for a wind-up alarm clock to be invented that could be set to any time. My guy was like, I am creating a solution to a problem that I have. I do not care if the rest of you need an alarm clock. No. This solution is for me. Number 66. Some insects and small birds see the world in slow motion. This is because they're able to take in more information per second than other larger animals. This allows them to move so rapidly and with such precision, which is vital to escape from predators. They process information so quickly that they perceive time as though it was in slow motion. This is how flies are able to get away from you trying to swat them. It's been found that the opposite is true for larger animals, with giants such as elephants taking a lot more time to take in information and act upon it. I read somewhere, I didn't fact check this, so I don't know if this is true, but I read somewhere that flies, the same phenomenon that this fact is talking about, that's how they're able to see that something is swatting at them and basically like move out the way right before they get smacked. Fascinating. Number 67. A goat called William Windsor served as a lance corporal in the British Army. William Billy Windsor the First served in the 1st Battalion Infantry Unit of the Royal Welsh between 2001 and 2009. He was briefly demoted to a fusilier after unacceptable behavior at the Queen's official birthday celebrations before regaining his rank as Lance Corporal. Billy was not the first and will certainly not be the last goat to serve in the Royal Welsh, as the tradition goes back to 1844. Following Billy's retirement, he has since been replaced by a younger goat named William Windsor II. Hey man, I guess whatever works, you know? So, how do they determine which one of these goats is truly the goat Lance Corporal? Which one is the greatest of all time at that position? They'll never know because they're all goats, huh? Alright. Oh boy. Number 68. The most venomous fish. Wow. The most venomous jellyfish in the world is the irukandji. The irukandji are actually a few different species of box jellyfish, which are commonly found in the waters of Australia's coast. Despite being the most venomous jellyfish in the world, they're actually not the most dangerous. The more lethal species of jellyfish are actually also box jellyfish, but are larger and are able to administer their venom much more rapidly. Despite this, the irukandji is still something that should be avoided at all costs. Something which is rather difficult as they're smaller than your fingernail. What? Another reason to steer clear of them is their venom is 100 times more powerful than a cobra's. Okay, this is just ridiculous. You could barely see regular jellyfish in water sometimes, much less jellyfish that are smaller than your fingernail. Oh my goodness. We're all gonna die when the jellyfish learn to walk on land. Man. Or it might be like most other animals where they really don't want to bother you unless you like go into their territory or you bother them. Could be that too. Number 69. March 20th is known as Snowman Burning Day. Oh my goodness. Is that because it's like turning to spring? I guess we're going to find out. The first ever Snowman Burning Day was celebrated on March 20th, 1971 at Lake Superior State University in Michigan. This bizarre sounding celebration was inspired by the Rose Sunday Festival in Germany. In the original Rose Sunday Festival, a parade passes through town and the mayor would make an agreement with the children of the town. If they promise to be well behaved and study well that year, then he will order a snowman made out of straw to be burned. This symbolizes the beginning of spring. If you're wondering how you actually burn a snowman, we have more fun facts at Snowman Burning Day here. Oh, okay. Sabotage. They got me. So it's kind of a spring thing, but it's not. I was thinking like whatever snowmen you had left on March 20th. You just, melt it, but no, you make it out of straw. Okay. Kind of random. Like, why snowmen burning? Why not anything else for those children, I don't know. Anyway, number 70. Queen Elizabeth II can't sit on the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones. What? The Game of Thrones isn't real. What is this fact? Oh, okay. Queen Elizabeth II visited the set of Game of Thrones, but because of an obscure rule, she wasn't allowed to sit on it, much to the disappointment of all present. It turns out that there's an old and relatively irrelevant rule which states that the ruling monarch can't sit on a foreign throne. Despite this throne being a work of fiction, the Queen is obviously a stickler for the rules and declined to rest her royal buttocks on the Iron Throne. Alright, that's kind of ridiculous. It's not real. Whatever. I'm not a queen, so and maybe I would follow those same rules. Number 71. There is an official wizard of New Zealand. In 1990, the Prime Minister of New Zealand appointed Ian Brackenbury Channel, who was an old friend, as the official wizard of New Zealand. He's even given an annual stipend. Known simply as the Wizard, he is known to be quite outspoken on social issues. He was even given the Queen's Service Medal for his lifelong service to the community. Wow. Okay. Can you imagine one day your Prime Minister friend comes up to you and is just like, hey, I want you to be the magician of this town, and we're going to give you money every year just to be the magician. What do I have to do? We'll just call you the magician. Can you imagine? Wow, some people just live the life, huh? Number 72. An apple, potato, and onion all taste the same if you eat them with your nose plugged. Well, isn't that basically no taste? Because like when you plug your nose, it doesn't have like severely like reduce the taste receptors or something. Nah, let's see. It's commonly known now that at least 80% of our sense of taste actually comes from our sense of smell. Oh, okay, see, well, there you go. Because of this, if you were to block of sense of smell, what? Because of this, if you were to block of sense of smell, or if you were to block your sense of smell, many things actually would taste the same, or at least pretty darn close. In this case, it's been tested on many different people who were blindfolded and had their noses plugged. The results? The participants couldn't distinguish between the three other than from their texture. You see what I mean? This is a perfect example of that sentence not making any sense unless I just completely do not know English, which is a possibility. Number 73. Wait. Go back to number 72 for a second. In the movie Holes and in the book, they just eaten onions. I wonder if they plugged their noses. Probably not. In the book, I don't think they said they plugged their noses. And in the movie, I don't think they did either. They were just like, ew, gross. And then they started liking them, I think. Number 73. It's a common misconception that Vincent van Gogh only sold one painting in his lifetime. Just a few months before passing away, Van Gogh sold his painting, The Red Vineyard. Many claim this to have been the only painting he sold in his lifetime, but this is far from the truth. The reality is that he definitely sold a number, one to a Parisian art dealer and another to a gallery in London. He also exchanged many paintings throughout his life with friends in return for art supplies or even food. The closest accurate claim to the common myth would be that he only ever made one major sale, The Red Vineyard. So one major sale and the rest were kind of like trades and stuff like that. Okay. Number 74. A company in Poland makes dinnerware out of wheat so you can eat your plate. The dinnerware is made out of wheat bran, which is part of a grain of wheat's kernel. Oh my goodness, I'm struggling. The reason they make plates out of wheat bran to start with is that it's not just edible, it's completely biodegradable too. While plastic dinnerware may take centuries to decompose, if it's made out of wheat bran, it can just take 30 days. Say goodbye to feeling guilty about using disposable dinnerware. At the moment, they make plates, bowls, and even cutlery, all of which can withstand high temperatures and wet foods. Pretty cool. That's good for the environment because we need to take care of Earth, because if you don't take care of Earth, then but what is everybody gonna do when Earth just explodes? I mean, I know it's not just gonna explode tomorrow, but come on, guys, all this global warming stuff and all that. And let's say you don't even believe in global warming, which you should, but there's just too much trash and it's like killing sea animals and all that. Let's just be kind to the place we live, guys. Like, you don't just throw trash all over your house, do you? Then don't just throw trash all over outside, because the houses we live in are on the house we inhabit, which is a floating ball in space. So let's just take it easy. Anyway, let me get off that soapbox. Alright, we're gonna stop there for today. I appreciate you all watching, or just listening, which is really all you had to do was just listen. But until next time, be well. Be well. Be well. Until next time.